morning, guys. Happy Monday. First things first, I am hosting a giveaway on my Instagram right now, and it's going to end in 2 days on Wednesday the 23rd. So by the time you guys watch this video, you'll have today, Tuesday, and then Wednesday during the day to enter this giveaway. So Beauty Heroes has graciously given me the opportunity to gift one winner the November beauty selection, which is the Josh Rosebrook box. So you'll get the cacao antioxidant mask that I love, the hydrating accelerator, which I also love, and a sample of his new unisex fragrance called Ethereal. And on top of that, if you guys look at my Instagram post, I'm wearing a V-neck long sleeve and it says "We are all beauty heroes" on it because that's the theme of November's selection. So one winner will get the box as well as the shirt. So make sure you go ahead and enter that giveaway because oh my gosh, I would love for one of you guys to win. The shirt is so soft. It's seriously the first thing that I change into when I get home after I take off my bra. And it's also made responsibly in the US. So to be eligible to win this giveaway, the instructions are there in detail if you guys go to my Instagram post, but I did ask a question that I wanted you guys to answer in the comment sections over there on Instagram, and that question was, what is one attribute of yours, physical or otherwise, that you have come to love and embrace? And the reason I chose to ask this question is because I feel like all of us are worthy of redeeming the qualities about ourselves that maybe someone else in our life has put down, whether someone teased you about the way that you look when you were growing up, or maybe, I don't know, people have made you feel uncomfortable about some personality traits. In one of the comments that I read, someone mentioned how she used to see her sensitivity as a weakness because of something that someone said, and I felt her, I resonated with her about that, because for a really long time, I thought sensitivity was a flaw that I had to fix, like, why am I so sensitive? Why do I react so easily to things that hurt me? But like, this whole year for me has been about redeeming all the gifts that God has given me. And one of them is sensitive. I'm really sensitive to good and bad things. So when something makes me happy, it makes me so happy. Like, I feel it all throughout my body. And then when something hurts me, it really just like, oh, my heart, That's all God-given, right? It doesn't have to be seen as something that I should fix. I mean, I'm sure there are ways that I can channel it to help other people and to learn and grow from it, right? But there's, I don't have to try to stifle that in a way that squelches that for me, like, I don't have to try to stop being sensitive. And the attribute that I shared about myself in my caption for that Instagram post, something that I've come to love and embrace about myself, are my eyes. Especially because I'm in Korea, where most people, I don't want to say everyone, but most people, they believe that having big eyes is beautiful. And it's very common for people to get the 쌍꺼풀 수술, which is double eyelid surgery in Korea. And this isn't to knock anyone that gets the surgery done, but it's very widely accepted, and it's not a big deal to fix your eyes in Korea. Even when I was really young, I remember when I was a teenager, my parents said, hey, when you turn 16, if you want, you can get 쌍꺼풀 수술. And I'd never given it a second thought, but when they mentioned it, I kind of felt like, maybe that's something I need, I'm not sure. And in no way were my parents telling me that I was, unattractive if I didn't do that. But it's just so common here. So I think they just kind of put that on the table for me as an option. And I can't say that I've ever strongly disliked my eyes, but especially when I first moved out to Korea, that was all I was seeing, My eyes felt small compared to everyone else, and I felt different. And sometimes I felt like that was a good thing, and other times it was like, am I ugly? Am I really ugly? I remember before I moved out to Korea in 2011, I was having Thanksgiving dinner at my parents' house, and Thanksgiving is huge at our house, and all of our cousins came over. And I remember my aunt, who's Jasmine's mom, my cousin Jasmine, who you guys have seen here on Morning Chats, I remember she pulled me aside, and it was like a few months before I was gonna go to Korea, and I remember she said, hey, like no matter what, please don't change your eyes. And you might feel the societal pressure when you get to Korea, but leave your eyes alone is what she said. I appreciated that she made me feel good about me just the way that I am, but I can't say that I've given it much thought. Like the first thing I'm gonna do when I go to Korea is, you know, try to alter my appearance. But I guess she kind of knew the culture that I would be a part of, and you know what could affect me. So I know she definitely said that out of care, and I so appreciate it. And she's one of two people that have distinctly said that to me. And the other person is actually a friend from high school. His name is Jay. And actually, if you guys watch Show Me the Money, it's a TV program in Korea, and it's kind of, I haven't personally seen the show, but I think it's one of those music TV programs, kind of like American Idol, where they're trying to pick the next Korean rapper or something. I'm so sorry if I completely butchered that. But yeah, Show Me the Money is huge in Korea, and one of the contestants was my friend Jay, and he goes by the name Flow Sick. If you guys watch Korean TV, I'm sure you're familiar with him. And when I first came out to Korea, he was one of the people that felt really like family to me. Just because I came out to Korea by myself, and my brother was here for a short time because he was enlisted in the army. And after he left, and I was pretty lonely, Jay was such a good friend to me. You know, my first year of Korea was tough. It was really, really tough. And I was pretty down and depressed, and I gained a bunch of weight. Like the first 6 months I was here, I gained like anywhere between like 10 to 15 pounds, and I was the heaviest I'd ever been in my life. So it was very stressful for me. But I remember Jay, we were like talking one time, and I was telling him about my insecurities, and like just about my weight gain, and sometimes how I feel really ugly here in Korea. And I remember he specifically said, and I'm not going to try to imitate his voice because he has a very distinct husky voice. He was like, Jen, you better not do anything to your eyes. Don't you ever think about getting surgery. Your eyes are your 매력. And I don't know exactly how to translate that. I think what I understood it as, it's like that's part of your charm and like your charisma, and that's what like makes you you. So I remember he was like very adamant about like leave your eyes alone. Like no matter what anyone tells you in Korea, even if anyone suggests it to you, like don't even let that seed plant. I don't know, maybe because I haven't gone through with the surgery, and now that I'm older and I'm way more comfortable with myself than I was even like 2 years ago, you know? I really appreciate still what my aunt said, what Jay said to me. I very briefly shared it on Instagram. I didn't go into that whole long story, but that was one. It's, my culture tells me maybe my eyes are too small and I should probably get surgery. But no, like I love my eyes. It makes me different. And the other thing was, one insecurity that I have about myself are my laugh lines here. And every time I wear makeup and when I look in the mirror throughout the day, I'm so conscious of this area, and I always find myself like doing this because that's where my makeup settles. But then it's like, crap, it just goes to show that I like to laugh and smile, and these laugh lines represent that, right? They're nothing to be hidden. And as I was like writing up this caption for the giveaway yesterday, I was telling Brandon about my laugh lines, and he was like mind blown. He was like, I've never noticed that on your face. Like that was never something that caught my eye. I never saw it as a flaw. And it's like, what? You've been feeling insecure about that this whole time? Like, he was seriously floored. And he was like, just reminding me about how I need to embrace it because crap, you like to laugh and you like to smile, and what a blessing. I just woke up this morning and I was reading all the entries and people sharing what it is that they've come to embrace about themselves. And I got a text from Brandon because he'd already left for work. He texted me and he was like, oh my God, I'm near tears right now just going through the thread on your Instagram post. So I'm so, God, you guys know I love beauty heroes. Like, I love beauty heroes. I mean, they provide like quality service and products, but not only that, like, I'm so lucky to be part of this movement. Like, what, me? I feel like at some point in every morning chat, I have this moment where I'm like, I'm so thankful and me, but I swear, guys, this isn't like just for show. Like, these are actually thoughts that I have very often, and I feel like I don't know how to control it sometimes. And I know I'm like pretty repetitive, I feel like, when I sit down in front of the camera. All this to say, please enter the giveaway. I would love for you guys to experience beauty heroes with me. So that is one of the 3 giveaways that is coming up before this year ends. So even if you don't win this one, you'll have 2 more chances for 2 different giveaways. I guess today's just story time, but yesterday we had a guest speaker because our pastor's out of town. He's in the States right now. And the pastor, I honestly don't remember like the bulk of the sermon, but there was one part of the sermon towards the end when it was almost over, and he said something like, you know, when I pray for you guys, because we are a small church, we're a church plant, we're still in the infant stages. He said, when I think about you guys, I think about this church, what I pray for is for you guys to be on fire, right? I want you guys to be on fire for God. And you know, it's very cliche. Like I'll have to admit, like so many pastors say that, and I get the sentiment, but then he went ahead and clarified, like, and I don't just mean emotionally, like just go around like running around like you love Jesus. Then on the the screen, he shared a picture of his kitchen, and I don't know when this happened, but his kitchen caught on fire, and he was saying, when there is a fire, after the aftermaths of a fire, it always leaves a mark, right? No matter how much you try to fix it up until you like completely replace it, fire leaves a mark. What he was trying to say was, I want you guys to go out and leave marks, right? On the people or the lives that you touch, I think. This wasn't the part that really got me, but he then went on to say that fire is the presence of God. And he gave the example of, and my Bible knowledge is like very little to none. Like my Bible knowledge is just not there. But I do know this example where God appeared in the form of fire in front of Moses in the desert. And yeah, he just said God appears in the form of fire. And you guys, I literally, like right when he said that, I time traveled to 2006, and I don't think I've ever shared this story publicly, but in 2006, that was a rough year for me. I just ended a very unhealthy long-term relationship that I was in. I think I was still trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. Yeah, because it was 2006. It was a year before I was supposed to graduate college. Yeah, my life was just a mess. And I remember around that time, my mom had asked me to go to early morning prayer for like 30 or 40 days. I think it was like during Lent. I'm not a morning person. But around that time, my sister was also applying for colleges, and she's like, no, we have to go and we have to pray for Julie so she can go to, you know, the art school of her dreams. And I was just like, okay, like begrudgingly, I agreed to go to early morning prayer. This was also around the time that I was so depressed. I think I was like 95 pounds, and I'm 5'5", so I'm not even on the short side. So you guys can imagine just how rail thin I was. And I probably thought I was fat during that time. Like I didn't see that I was really unhealthy. But yeah, that's how thin I was. I was just really just in the dumps. And I agreed to do the early morning prayer thing. So what it looked like was, I think I would wake up around like 5 or 5:30 in the morning, go to church with my mom and my sister, and then on the way back, I would drop my mom off at the bus stop and she'd go to work, and then I would pick up my brother and sister and then take them to school. Well, one morning after I did all that, I was driving back by myself to go home to get changed and shower before, you know, I had to go to school myself. I noticed that like under my hood, like it was smoking up. So then I pulled over and I opened up my hood, and my car went on fire. Like it just caught on fire. My entire hood was just on fire. And like, how old was I? Oh my God, I was 21, like freaking out. And I'm just thinking, oh my gosh, my car's gonna explode, and the houses, you know, on the street, like everyone's gonna die. Like I can't even. But I went back to this moment yesterday, right when he said that. He was like, fire is the presence of God. And that was exactly 10 years ago, right? 2006. It was during that time, I remember, because I was so lost in my life, and I was so angry because all the emotional investment that I put into this relationship, it just got swiped off from under my feet, and I had no legs to stand on. And in 2006, I remember I was still kind of questioning my faith, but I really felt like I had nothing else to hold on to. And so I angrily put my faith in God. 2006 was such a remarkable year for me because everything that I put my identity in, it was lost, and it was a fresh start for me. And not to say that my life got significantly better from there on out. You know, of course I had many other struggles that came my way, but with where I am right now and everything that I've learned, like, God, just thinking about that moment, it's like, okay, if I had known that my car was gonna catch on fire that day, and then 10 years later I was gonna be sitting in service at a church that I didn't think I'd be a part of in Korea, and just like just going back to that moment, it was like, oh my gosh, I really felt like God just had me in his hands since 2006. He had me in his hands before. I was just too dumb and ignorant to see that, but God, I feel like he's just like, just trust me, I'll show you. And in this moment, I was just going through all of these thoughts in my head by myself at service, and at that point Brandon had gotten up and he left. So he wasn't even next to me when this was happening. So all of this is going on. I'm like, oh my gosh. So today, as I was showering and getting ready to film this morning chat, and I'm not one to be like, oh, God spoke to me and I heard his voice. I don't think God really speaks to me like that. It's just more intuitive. And with how much I've grown this year and all that I've learned and everything that he's given me, like I really feel like he's telling me, just trust me and be obedient and do what I called you to do, and just wait until you see what I'm gonna do with you, kid. This doesn't mean that life is going to get easier, or that I figured it out. In fact, I know that I'm going to go through many hard times, and I'm currently going through a hard time, you know, with trying to get pregnant and everything, but I feel so at peace. I'm in the best hands. So I really just need to take it a day at a time, you know, and just, it's a daily surrender. Like my friend Sandra said, even after accepting God, things don't get easier, right? I think foundationally you know that you're not hopeless, and not that that's anything to scoff at. That's a huge blessing to be able to come back to that mindset, even when things feel like so out of control or so questionable. I just have to trust that I'm in good hands. And where I am right now, if that means in 15 minutes I show up and I spend time with my client and help him be comfortable speaking English, that's my calling for the next hour and a half. And then when I get home, and I don't feel like making food for myself, which is most days, I have to think of it as, God gave me this body, I have to take care of it, I need to nourish myself, so I need to put in the time to do that. After that, on my way to work, to teach my students, that's my calling for the day. I have to be faithful to the 3 hours that he's giving me to spend time with my kids, and that's it. And you do that every single day, and throughout those responsibilities, right, I have to rely on God. Just be thankful for my opportunities. Even the opportunity, like every day that I have to take the car out, I'm like, I haven't gotten over the fact that I'm driving in Korea, because that's something I swore I would never do. I mean, I can drive in Manhattan. I can drive in New York City just fine. And people are like, well, if you can drive in New York City with all the crazy cabs, Korea should be a breeze. But it is a different world here. Different world driving here. I feel like Korean cab drivers are like nutty in their own way. God, I'm like always nervous about getting into an accident and not being able to explain myself in Korean. But thankfully, a few months ago, Brandon installed, or he paid a man to install a black box in our car. And what a black box is, I don't know why the states don't require this, but it's like this, it looks like a little camera and it's just installed in the car and it just records your surroundings. It records it when you're driving, it records it when it's parked. So if anyone decides to vandalize your car or like, you know, hit and run, everything's on camera. So that's like my security blanket. Seriously guys, like every time I'm on the road, I'm like, God, like thank you for letting me drive to work. Otherwise it would take me twice as long, you know, if I had to take the bus to go teach. All that to say, I'm incredibly grateful for what seems like things that are given. Like in the States, like I don't think I was really that thankful for being able to drive because it's so normal. But as a foreigner, driving in Korea, I think it's a big deal. You know, it's definitely a privilege. I am choosing to be thankful in these little ways. That'll set the tone for everything that I do. That'll set the tone for what I want to share with you guys. I'm so excited. Man, like 2017 is just, I can't even wrap my brain around what could possibly happen in 2017. This Thursday, guys, it's going to be a Beauty Heroes video because, you know, Beauty Heroes curates 1 box a month. So in a year, that's 12 boxes. But this year, they're going to have a 13th beauty selection for gifting purposes. And it's just going to be, it's arriving in time for the holidays. And so I'm going to be reviewing Beauty Heroes 13th beauty selection. So stay tuned for that. And then, oh my gosh, next week is December. Next week is December, and I think Thursday might be December 1st. And if that's the case, it's another Beauty Heroes video because I always try to upload their box on the 1st of the month, so that you guys have plenty of time if you're interested in picking up the boxes. Ooh, and then I think the week after, yes, next Thursday is December 1st because the Thursday after that is December 8th. And that week I'm going to upload 2 morning chats, that Monday and also Thursday the 8th, because that's going to be 1 year of morning chats. Brandon's parents gifted him this soju set for his birthday. It's like fancy soju, which is like a Korean liquor. And it came with these cute little shot glasses. I put one right here and the other one's on my dresser in the bedroom. And I use it to keep my jewelry in it. So every morning I've just been dumping this out and like putting on all my stuff. Guys, I hope you have a fantastic week. I know I said this already, but go on ahead over to my Instagram, enter the giveaway, and I'd love to hear what it is that you guys love about yourself, because we need to do more of that every single day. We need to love our bodies, our faces, our personalities, and not just the beautiful material things that we own. Because I do that. Like, look at my skincare collection or like my beauty products and I'm like, ah. But anyway, beauty is more than just beauty products. Oh my goodness. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you later this week. Bye.